for being here tonight. To the parents who rearranged your schedules, to my teammates, and to the coaches. Thank you, it really means a lot to have everyone here and to celebrate the season and this program. When I first came here to Pingry, I came as a soccer player. That's how I saw myself. That's what I thought I was. But as I stand here today, I'm leaving as something so much more, a well-rounded human being who has learned that my identity extends far beyond that field. Honestly, that transformation didn't come the way I expected or wanted, if I'm being completely honest. Let me take you back to 2022. My whole life was flipped upside down. I wasn't just starting at a new school. I was starting over completely. A new state, a new house, new friends, a completely new life. Now I've moved probably 5 or 6 times throughout my whole life, so you'd think I'd be a professional at this point. But moving itself wasn't a huge issue. What was a huge issue was leaving behind the comfortable life I had built myself and starting from absolutely nothing all over again. As a lifelong public school kid, I was walking into a private school, and not just any private school, but Pingry, one of the most prestigious and high-level schools in the country. I was used to seeing PJs and a hoodie walking into first period, with half the kids dozing off. But now I was seeing kids with Finland Vines polos and $800 golden gooses. I was completely uncertain about everything in my life. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I fit in, and honestly, I didn't know if I could handle it.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
But here's the thing. I can gladly say that I would not have been as well-rounded a human being if I'd stayed within the comforts of my hometown high school in Pennsylvania. That leap into the unknown, as terrifying as it was, shaped me in ways I couldn't have imagined. I've come a long way from my early days here. On my first night of our famous Euro trip, we were in Belgium, and I ran into a bit of an issue. Me and my roommate, Vinny, both woke up at 1 a.m. craving something to eat. So, as one does on a Pingry trip, we left our rooms without even thinking twice. We toured the entirety of the hotel looking for a bite to eat. But as you would expect, there was absolutely nothing at 1 o'clock in the morning around the hotel. So now we found ourselves back in our room, not only hungry now, but tired from all the walking. So we both decided to go to bed. Luckily, my genius roommate pointed out that we had to be at breakfast by 7:30 in the morning, so we had to figure out how we do that. Without our phones, we started brainstorming. And obviously, being two of the smartest minds on the team, we found a solution in absolutely no time. So we decided that our master plan would be we would take 2-hour shifts sleeping, and then after our shifts ended, we would wake the other up all the way for the next 5 hours until 7:30 in the morning.
Dumbest smart kids in the world, folks.
As you can probably guess, we didn't make it on time to breakfast. Luckily though, the coaches let us off the hook with that one. Looks like a downright stupid they thought it was. They started laughing as soon as we told them the whole plan, as they just did not. I would go on to be late a probable trip record of 8 to 9 times after that. So clearly time management wasn't my strong suit early on. But what I learned here at Pingry was something that I hadn't experienced in previous soccer programs. And trust me, I've been part of a lot. This place wasn't just focused on making me a better soccer player. It was focused on building the overall character of my human being. They weren't preparing me to gear up for the Champions League in the next couple of years. They were gearing me up to learn how to face adversity and come back from it, to build high expectations for myself and to learn how to handle them, and to learn how to positively shape how others perceive me. That's a completely different kind of preparation, and it's one that matters far beyond anything. And just when I thought I had everything figured out, life decided to throw me another hurdle. Most of you know that I tore my meniscus, and without boring you with all the medical details, let's just say that I've dealt with a bunch of knee problems that have kept me off the field for basically my entire junior and senior year. When you build your whole identity around being an athlete, losing that can feel like losing part of yourself. Those early days after the injury were some of the hardest of my life, but looking back now, I solemnly believe that everything happens for a reason. Which brings me to the people who got me through all of this. I want to start with my family, because none of this, the soccer, the move, the recovery, the growth, would have been possible without them. Achin, which is what I call my dad, I don't know where to begin. Thousands of miles driven, to practices, to games, to tournaments, across the state and beyond. All those early mornings, practices, to games, to tournaments, across the state and beyond. All those early mornings, when most people were still asleep, you were already warming up the car. All the sacrifices you made in your own life so that I could chase this dream. You rearrange your schedule, your priorities, your entire life around my soccer career. You believed in me even when I was too tired or too frustrated to believe in myself. I see now how much you gave up, and I want you to know it didn't go unnoticed. Thank you, Achin. I love you. Amma, my mom, you've been my constant. Through every high and every low, your love has been unwavering. While Achin focused on the logistics of the game, you always brought the emotional perspective I needed. You helped me process what I was feeling, reminded me to stay grounded, and no matter how chaotic things got, no matter how frustrated or devastated I felt during this injury, you remained level-headed. You were the voice of reason and compassion when I needed it most. Thank you for always being by my side. Coach Bulari, I need to give you a special recognition. Throughout this entire injury, you constantly checked in on me, not just about soccer, not just about when I'd be back on the field, but about me as a person. Those conversations changed my perspective. You helped me start seeing myself as more than just a soccer player. You showed me that my value isn't determined by whether I can play, but by who I am as a person. That lesson is something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Thank you. And I've also spent an enormous amount of time this past year with Dr. Mir, my physical therapist. Honestly, I probably spent more time with him than anyone in my whole family. I know you're not here today, but I just want to shout you out and thank you for your patience, your expertise, and the confidence you through this whole journey. You've been a huge part of this journey for me. Finally, I want to thank the entire coaching staff who have shaped me during my time here. Coach Bulari, Coach Fahey, Coach Amedi, Coach Garcia, Coach Patton, Spice, Coach Mike, and Berto. Each of you have contributed to my development in ways big and small, and I'm grateful for every lesson, every word of encouragement, and every moment you've invested in me. Thank you. Pingry soccer gave me so much more than I ever expected. Yes, I came here as a soccer player, but I'm leaving as someone who understands resilience, perspective, and the importance of the people who stand beside me when things don't go according to plan. That injury wasn't what I wanted. The time away from the field wasn't what I planned, but it gave me something invaluable. The understanding that I'm not simply just an athlete, but I'm a person with so much more to offer. Thank you all for being part of my journey. I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Give everybody a second.